External lookup relationship. This is the last relationship. So external lookup relationship is now the object. We have two objects. One is in the Salesforce. We have one object in Salesforce, and another object is in third-party system. That means some other system we have it. Now we have seen already external data source, right? So creating the external objects. What we have done is from the third party system, we have pulled the objects and stored into the external object. We have stored into the external object. Now, if you want to implement a relationship between the internal objects and external objects, then we will go for an external lookup relationship. Then we will go for external lookup relationship. So external lookup relationship is linked a child standard object or a custom object, or else or external object to the parent object. So you have a child is a standard or a custom object, and parent is a external object. So in that scenario, you can go with the external lookup relationship. Now, whatever the values are there in the standard object, so based on the external ID field. So based on this external ID field on the parent external object, we are able to match and get the information using the external lookup relationship. That means I am building the relationship between the internal object and external object. Let's say, for example, now last time when we have created the external data source, we have created the external data source. Now let me show you the external data source. Search here external data source. So external objects. We have created this external objects, bringing the third party system from the hierarchy. We have brought these objects. Now I wanted to implement a relationship between the external object and internal object. Let's say I'll go with some different object. Let's say candidate object. Or else you can go with the opportunity. So let's go with the opportunity. Click on appeals and relationship and go to the new. And we have an option here, external lookup relationship. Now in the external lookup relationship is, it's the object to an external object whose data is stored outside of the Salesforce, or whatever the data is there, the data is actual data is stored in the external, which is outside of the Salesforce, or click on the next button. The relate to, either you go for a order or order details. What are these order details? Which are the whatever we have pulled it from the third party system, hierarchy system, right? So only those two objects are available here. Now let's say if I take a order, click on this next button, and length is maximum, let's click 20. And click on the next button, and click on the next button, and save. Now if I go to the opportunity, now the way it displays the external lookup field is a different compared to the normal lookup field. So normal lookup field, how it is going to display. Now if you go to the position object, now we have a lookup field, right? So this is the lookup field where we have a option here. It says here this icon, and I can pull it from here. But external lookup relationship, the way it displays is a different. Well, let me show you that. Go to the opportunity. Let's open the existing one, detail section. Now the one which we have created is order. What is the name which we have created? Order, right? So order is, if you want to change it, let's change the name here. External order. External object order. external object order. And click on save. Let's click on your refresh button. Click on the detail section. Now we have it. Now let's refresh this. Now usually the lookup relationship, it displays in a normal option, like it displays like. If I go to the position object, how it is going to display, it has a lookup. But external object, whatever the external lookup relationship is there, it does not show you the lookup. It does not show you the lookup similar to the what we have in the normal lookup relationship. Right? It does not show you this kind of a lookup option. It does not show you. So external lookup, because the reason is the object stays into the actual data stays into the external system. So what we have to give here, we have to provide the ID. So whatever the ID is there, external object order ID. Now that ID we need to provide it. So let's say, for example, this is the information external ID is 1. So we need to provide the external ID. So here external ID, here on the parent level external ID is 1. Or else if you want any other external ID, take that external ID. So this is 24. So let's give the external ID of the parent value into the external lookup relationship. Now click on a save. Now, if you click on this, now it is going to point to the your hierarchy order. If you give any other value, it does not take you to the external object. If you give something else, like for example, I'm giving the some different value, some ID I'm giving it. So let's say I'm providing the ID. So here I'll open this and then I'm providing the ID here. Click save. No, it does not take it. It does not take it. Right? So it has a ID, but it does not take it. If you give any other value, let's say you are giving the 15, some value you are giving it. If you give any value also, it does not. Right? So if you click on this, it will give you the, looks like there is a problem, bad request. Why it is a bad request? Because I have not provided the external ID. I provided some different value. So always provide the external ID of the parent in the external object. Click on save. Then it will take you to the that particular record. So if you click on this, it will take you to the this record. A little bit different from the normal lookup. External lookup relationship is a different. It does not give you the option to select it from the lookup. So that's
In
about
real time, yeah, in real time scenario, like what is the purpose of creating this external ID? Means in what scenarios they create this?
so we have here some functionalities will be there. So the functionality will say here based on the order information. Actual order is happening in the hierarchy system. Now, based on the order information, I wanted to perform certain activities. Like I wanted to implement a logic here, maybe the invoice or some logic I need to implement it. So in that case, first I need to get the details from the external system. Now, every time I need to get that information and store it here in the external object, and then data store it here based on the data. I'll be linking the for the invoice. What I'll do is when I'm creating the invoice, I need to know which order it has been implemented. So in that case, I'll link further while creating the invoice or while creating the opportunity. So for this opportunity, what is the order has been generated? So I will link it. So when I link it, it is going to show me these options. Now, based on this option, I'll talk to the external team member saying that this is the ID, external ID, which we have received it. Now I can see on the opportunity level, this is the external ID. This is when we discuss with the external system, when we have a problem with this order, then that time only we will discuss.
Okay.
So that's about the external lookup relationship.